more about the istill, we're going to take a look at the menu together to see what you can dial in and how you can manage your istill to get the best results. So we can see the istill wishes us a good day, and it will be a good day because we will be distilling in a short time. Not yet. First thing I want to do is take you through the menu. As you can see, we can dial in start and actually start distilling, or we can set some menu options, and that's what I want to do with you today. So the first thing I'm going to do is press the menu button, and we can see that we're actually now at step 1 of the menu. And what you do in the first step is you actually decide at what temperature, until what temperature do you want to collect force. We can say OK, and we can see that force collection is set at 78.5 degrees centigrade. That's a very good setting. It's the factory setting, and I would advise you, if you want to do a normal force collection like 50, 60 milliliters on a run, keep it like this. And if you don't want to keep it like this, you can go a bit higher, or you can go a bit lower. And the higher you get, the bigger portion is taken as force. 78.5 is fine. Let's continue to number 2. Number 2 is actually the setting temperature at which you're going to end the process of collection. Temperatures are measured like 25 centimeters, 10 inches under the takeoff point, but also at the bottom of the column. And if the alcohol at the bottom of the column is really depleted of alcohol, you want to stop the process. Right now it's set at 99.0 degrees. We can go as high as 99.5, but usually you go a bit lower. It actually means that the istill can collect 96.5% ABV even when there's almost no alcohol left in the boiler on the bottom part of the column. But the question is, do we want to do that? Normally you stop a bit earlier, around this temperature, or maybe this. That allows you to keep great hearts and not to have any tails slowly mingling in your heart's function. So let's say this is okay, and let's continue to number 3. The third option is all about tolerance settings. I just told you that one of the temperature rods that's measuring is situated like 10 inches or 25 centimeters under the takeoff point, and it measures if the column is at azeotropic temperatures or not. But there's always a margin to be calculated in, because if you would say margin is 0, then you don't allow for any fluctuation within the column whatsoever. So if it would take out a little bit, temperature would change a little bit and it would have to stop. So we do want some tolerance. And what kind of tolerance do we want? Factory setting is 0.3 degrees centigrade, and it actually means that the istill will continue collecting product when the temperature of azeotropic alcohol is, let's say, 78.2. If it's 78.3, it will still collect. 78.4 degrees centigrade, it will still collect. But at 78.5, it breaches the 0.3 degree threshold, and it will stop, re-equalize, find a new equilibrium, set a new opening for the needle valve, and start collecting again. The 0.3 degree tolerance is very good. I did some testing on 0.4 and 0.5 tolerance, but then you're actually moving a little bit away from azeotropic collection. You can dial in 0.1 or 0.2, but you're giving so little leeway to the computer, to the automation, that the production process will slow, and actually ABV will be a bit lower. It doesn't make any sense. Why can a tolerance setting of 0.3 create a higher ABV than 0.2 or 0.1? Well, the thing I want to ask you is to think about what we're actually collecting when we're collecting at azeotropic temperatures. We're not collecting 100%, we're collecting 96.5. 100 degrees or 100% ABV could only be collected, if it were possible, about 0.2 degrees above azeotropic temps, and that's why actually this setting is fantastic. You saw that the menu will automatically go back if you don't touch it for like 90 seconds. The reason for it is we can dial in the numbers at the beginning of the run, but also during the run, and the computer wants to continue its process, so if you didn't change anything for like 90 seconds, it will continue collection and go back to the menu. We looked at tolerance settings. Let's go to the fourth point, and that's actually set time of stabilization. Why is the time of stabilization important? It is important because when the column is stabilized, we allow lower boiling point alcohols to travel up and find their spot as far away from the boiler as possible. As far away because that's the coolest place, and lower boiling point alcohols causing headaches. We don't want in our drinks, so we want to stack them in the top part of the column as much as possible. And we can do that by setting stabilization time. Factory setting is 15 minutes, which means that you will get a stabilization for heads of 2 times 15 minutes, that's 30 minutes, and another restabilization before product, hard takeoff of 15 minutes. And that's a perfect setup. You can change it if you're really crazy about getting all the heads out to a molecular level. You may stabilize it for longer. It's not needed because we don't see temperature drops, but we actually can. Here we see that the stabilization time is set for 15 minutes. We can go as low as 10 minutes. Or as high as 30 minutes. And 30 minutes gives you 1 hour of stabilization for heads, 2 times 30 minutes that is, and 1 times 30 minutes before product takeoff, before hearts are collected. It's a bit much. I think the 15 minutes is perfectly fine, that's why we dialed it in. So let's choose that one, push OK, and let's continue to number 5. So we set the time of stabilization at 15 minutes, giving us 30 minutes of head stabilization and 50 minutes before hearts are taken off. Let's continue to number 5. Information. If you want to know how to call us, how to reach us, just push OK. And you can find our email or website. You can actually see what kind of version you're running, and we want our clients to run the latest version as much as possible. This is the latest version, version 3.00 of June the 30th, 2013. Telephone number, if there's something you want to ask me, please go ahead and call. And if not, let's continue and go to step number 6 in the menu. Number 6 is just about simple water distillation. Why do we want to distill water? Well, maybe we do, because we find it is interesting to dilute our drinks with distilled water. The real reason why this program is here is because it allows us to clean the column. This is the column cleaning program. First time you dial in, first time you're going to use your istill, what you want to do is you want to clean it. So you put like 25 liters of water in the boiler, you add 1.5 to 2 liters of vinegar, and you do a 15-minute run through the simple water distillation. After that you still need a sacrificial run with maybe a turbo wash or another sugar wash, but this is the first thing. If you use the istill like every week, maybe after 3 or 4 months, you want to do another simple water distillation with vinegar in order to clean it out. We're not going to do that right now. And just one thing before we go to step number 7, 8 and 9, because those are the steps we still have to look into. You don't have to go through the menu. I mean, if you dialed in what's perfect for you, the computer will remember, and next time you want to start a run, you just start it up, you just go to the start menu, you just select if you want to filter, or if you don't want to filter, you select if you want the extra long head stabilization, or if you just want to take force, 3-4 buttons and you're running. But this is like the first time, or we're simulating you're using it the first time, and you want to get to well, you want to get to know the istill, you want yourself to be familiarized with what kind of automation there is and how you can dial it in. So let's go back to menu. Simple water distillation is where we were. Now let's go here. This is an important one. Restore factory settings. You can dial in whatever settings you like. If you're not content with them or you want to go back to where it originally started, you just push Restore Factory Settings. And within 2 or 3 seconds it will actually restore factory settings for you. That's 50 minutes of stabilization, 0.3 degrees of tolerance, an end temperature of 99 degrees and a force collection temperature of 78.5 degrees. Number 8, we're almost there. Number 8 is about the language. It's by standard in English and I suggest you leave it there. Number 9, very interesting. You don't have to do this test like every time. Normally when you assembled the istill for the first time you want to check and you can actually carry out a diagnostic set. You can dial in a few things. The first test it will do, and I will not go into all of them because that takes a bit longer. First test you can do is ask the istill, look, check those thermometer probes and do they give the readings we expect them to do. The second test is about the solenoid valves. Please open a valve for me, close it again, open another one, close it again, so we can find out if the water inlet is well controlled, if we can take force, if we can make switches between filtered and non-filtered products, those kind of things. Third run in the testing program is about the needle valve and the needle valve engine. Does it work as it should be? Does it open automatically? Does it know when to close? And if all the tests are done, the istill will tell you, well, we tested it, everything functions, so please go ahead. In practice I find that I do this test, well, maybe the first time when I assembled an istill. I just want to be sure before running, like, is everything dialed in correctly? Do we need to make any changes? That's about it for the menu. If you want to get out of the menu, it will do so automatically. Still have like 13 or 12 seconds because it will return. Or we push escape, and since we dialed in the menu, what we can do now is we can go to start. We can actually start the istill running with the settings that we dialed in the menu.